This is really an unprecedented day, not only in Major League history, but sports history as well. A statement from the commissioner's office. Spring training has been suspended. The start of the regular season will be delayed.
We just wanted to make sure everyone's okay and make good decisions based on science.
There is no roadmap to navigate this. MLB is doing it the best that they can based on the information we have today. When do we see baseball again? We just don't know.
My question to the commissioner would be, why not? Why can't you get it done?
You've got to mend that relationship. I compare this to a marriage that literally cannot get a divorce.
Can you guarantee we will have Major League Baseball in 2020?
One way or the other, we're playing Major League Baseball.
Breaking news, the owners and players have reached an agreement to play the 2020 season.
Cubs baseball is back.
You have to look forward. Things are different now. Expectations are higher.
It's a 60-game schedule. It will be a sprint.
Here in Chicago, every day you step foot on that field, fans expect greatness. The expectations don't go away.
The Cubs have returned to an old home that was built in 1914 and are now on a new home established in 2020. Tonight, the Chicago Cubs open their 145th National League season against the Milwaukee Brewers right here on MARQ Sports Network. Baseball is back, presented by Taco Bell. Gorgeous night here in Chicago, and welcome to the home television booth. Alongside Jim DeShays, I'm Len Casper, and man, is it great to be back.
Oh, it is so good to be back, Len. We've been waiting for this day for a good long while, and, you know, I was just thinking about earlier today, just to wake up tomorrow morning and get the morning paper and look at the box scores and look at the probables for the starting pitchers around Major League Baseball the next day. It's just, baseball is such a fabric of our lives in the summertime, day after day, and it's great to be back and to be able to bring these games to Cub fans.
Kyle Hendricks has pitched in some huge games, particularly in the postseason, but tonight will be his first career opening night start.
Yeah, David Ross was down to Yu Darvish and Kyle Hendricks. He opted to hand the ball to Kyle Hendricks for the opening day assignment, and why not? He's been so good during this summer camp. He was good in spring training. He's been good throughout his career. He has the 6th best ERA among active pitchers who have made at least 100 starts. So well-deserved for Kyle Hendricks.
The Brewers overlooked a little bit. They made a lot of changes in the offseason, but Christian Yelich is still here, and he's still one of the best in the game.
Yeah, he was the MVP 2 years ago. Certainly could have been the MVP. Again, last year he finished second to Bellinger. He led the league, at 44 home runs, 6th in Major League Baseball. He led the National League in batting average, on base percentage. He led Major League Baseball in slugging percentage. And with some of the changes they've made, he becomes even more of a focal point in that lineup.
This great rivalry kicks off the 2020 season.
The rivalry with the Brewers is, I guess, no pun intended, but been brewing.
Here's Yelich, first pitch. This one's gonna fly!
No, they call it Wrigley North when we go up there and play at their stadium.
Since I've been here, the rivalry with the Brewers is taking a whole nother level.
It is gone! This is a road game!
It's pressure, but it's good pressure.
Doesn't get much more meaningful than a division rival to start the year.
UI Health takes pride in serving Chicago. We're in your neighborhoods, providing care closer to home because we're committed to keeping our communities healthy. And that commitment starts with a healthier you. It's more than a prescription or procedure. It's a healthcare team taking the time to listen. As partners in your health, understanding your needs is the first step in providing the personalized care you deserve. UI Health, changing medicine for good.
Food delivery just got more rewarding. Now the Grubhub gives you rewards when you order. Did you order tacos? Again? Boom, rewarded with a perk like $5 off. Ordering dinner for the family? Voila! Rewarded with free delivery and a side of quiet. Grubhub gives you rewards for rewarding yourself with food.
You have to look at the big picture. Maybe we got a little bit unlucky. When I show up, it's go time.
We are grinders, playing with your heart, playing with your emotions, and play for the team.
I want to prove myself each and every year.
The moment of truth. You take your deep breath. Now it's time to pull the trigger.
There's no days off. Show up to the ballpark, and when that first pitch is thrown, be ready to play.
Chicago Cubs baseball on Marquee Sports Network is brought to you by Toyota, official vehicle of the Chicago Cubs. Budweiser, this Bud's for you. Life or Death Illinois. Learn more at lifeordeathillinois.com. And by Baseball is Back, presented by Taco Bell. Getting set for opening night here in 2020. First of 60. 8 teams from each league will make the postseason. And as we welcome you back inside the ballpark, it is great to have with us Taylor McGregor and Elise Menaker, who are a big part of our game day crew. Let's start with Elise.
Len, thanks so much. So great for baseball to be back. You know who's excited to be here? Brewers starting pitcher Brandon Woodruff making his first opening day start. You know, he has gone up against Kyle Hendricks before. What he says about that matchup, sure, Kyle's not going to blow it by you at 98, but he said he can make 80, 90 look like 100 because of the way he uses his pitches. And as for when he's faced him as a hitter at changeup, he said, you see it, and then it looks like it hits a brick wall. So that was the fun part for Woodruff hitting, because he says you get to experience what hitters do every day. But for more on that pitcher whose changeup looks like it hits a brick wall, I go to my fellow sideline reporter, Taylor McGregor. Hi, Taylor. Happy opening day.
Yeah, to you as well. Now, Kyle Hendricks, no stranger to the big game, most notably Game 7 of the World Series. He pitched in, and now he'll get his first opening day nod. Now, the response always on Hendricks is that his heartbeat remains the same no matter what. All the way back to college, we caught up with his college catcher in Chris O'Dowd, who specifies what makes him so special, even in the big moment.
You take a guy that has emotional control in every situation and combine that with his ability to process information quickly, it is dangerous. And those two attributes are in some ways reflective of how someone would describe a professor. And Kyle's really been tabbed the professor because of what you see on the mound and how he carries himself. But if you go back to college, there were moments where he actually was a tutor and a professor to a lot of us baseball players, including myself.
And tutoring him most notably in advanced calculus. He just said he has such a unique way to take very complex information and break it down. It's something they saw in the classroom and something we'll see here today on the mound, guys.
Elise, Taylor, thank you. So Kyle Hendricks gets set to work against this Brewers lineup, brought to you by Advocate Health. We're cheering at a distance. Game day and every day. Eric Sogard is back with Milwaukee. We mentioned Yelich. Keston Hero, one of the good young hitters in this game. Justin Smoke, switch hitting first baseman. Braun is the DH. Avisail Garcia is in right. Omar Narvaez, left-handed swinging catcher, hits 7th. Lorenzo Cain down in the order. He's 8th ahead of Orlando Arcia.
Starting pitcher for the Cubs, as we mentioned, is Kyle Hendricks. It's brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. What happened last year for the professor? Well, he made 30 starts, 11-10 with a 3.46 ERA, walked just 32 batters against 150 strikeouts. And this is indeed his first career opening day start. Typically gets a lot of ground balls and needs some help. Defensively, the Cubs brought to you by Toyota. line up this way. Behind the plate, it's Wilson Contreras. Back-to-back All-Star teams for Contreras. Infield alignment, third to first, Bryant, Baez, Horner, Rizzo. He has 3 Gold Gloves at first. In the outfield, it's the 5-time Gold Glover Hayward Manning right. Ian Happ gets the start in center tonight. Kyle Schwarber plays left. Toyota, the official vehicle of the Chicago Cubs, brings you the Cubs defense.
The crew chief, Jeff Nelson, calling balls and strikes, says play ball. Hendricks to Sogard. And the 2020 season is finally underway. C.B. Buckner at first. Chicago native John Tumpain at second. And Jose Navas is over at third, making his major league debut tonight. So congrats to him as he heads out to make sure Schwarber's got it. And he does. So Jason Hayward. Kind of reminiscent of Sammy Sosa, right? That was an American flag. The Chicago flag as he heads out.
Well done, sir. Well done.
To right. Now Yelich. Spring training and summer camp combined, he was bad. But nobody seems to worry about him.
No, the track record is is really good, and there are the numbers from last year. 329 to lead the National League, 44 bombs.
How bad was he? 4 for 34 with 16 strikeouts. But that's over now.
Well, you know, he really turned a corner when he started becoming more aggressive, started jumping on first pitch fastballs.
Bounced back to the mound, and Hendricks will make the play. Well, like the swirling flow in a mountain stream, the winds within a ballpark are far more complicated than just what the flags show. Weather-applied metric computer simulations calculate how the wind changes the distance and direction of fly balls. Go to marqueesportsnetwork.com/weather for more details.
I thought you were breaking out a Jim Croce tune there. Like the swirling flow in a mountain stream. And there you see what the wind is doing here tonight. Going to help a little bit to right and knock it down a little bit to left. But all things considered, a relatively mild evening at the ballpark.
Mentioned Hira. Look at what he did last year as a rookie. Swing and a miss. Hendricks makes very quick work of the Brewers in the top of the first. The Cubs bats coming up, and they like to thump at the top. Bryant, Rizzo, Baez when we come back.
My dad was killed in a crash in Oak Forest. He wasn't doing anything wrong. He was on his way home from my sister's house when he was killed on his motorcycle because someone just wasn't paying attention. If it wasn't for an irresponsible driver, my dad would still be here today. I want everyone to realize that's not just a motorcycle, that's someone's everything. Please, drive and ride responsibly. It really is a matter of life and death.
Introducing Budweiser Nitro Gold, a first-of-its-kind lager infused with nitro for a taste as smooth as silk. Flip, pour hard, wait for it.
And we're back. It's all to play for here, anybody's game. Here's the snap, drops, fakes, throws right on the net. Oh, he drops it. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Oh, the stuff that nightmares are made of. Wow.
8 pitches needed. That was it for Kyle Hendricks to work through the Brewer lineup in the top of the first. The Cubs lineup is brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield through it all. KB at the top. Anthony Rizzo will hit second. Javier Baez, Kyle Schwarber in left batting cleanup. Wilson Contreras, big night for him. And not just because of what's happening here. More on that later. Hayward in right hitting sixth. Victor Caratini, the backup catcher, but he's the Cubs' first DH this year. Nico Horner at second and Ian Happ in center.
Starting pitcher for the Brewers tonight brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. And it's the big right-hander Brandon Woodruff. He was an all-star last year. Spent some time on the IL. Didn't pitch much in the second half. But when he did pitch, he was good. 22 starts, 11-3 with a 3.62 ERA. Like Hendricks, making his first opening day start. Unlike Hendricks, big heater.
Yeah, one of the hardest throwing starting pitchers around. 97 on the swing and miss from Bryant.
Yeah, he started the wild card game for them last year against the Nationals, and his fastball, average fastball velocity in that game was 98. He topped out at 100.
6'4", 243. Bryant lifts foul off of first and out of play. Beautiful night, 77 degrees. A little bit of a lake breeze. Just ideal. Early noon start tomorrow. And then getaway day on Sunday as the Cubs will hit the road for Cincinnati starting Monday night. 1-2. Rizzo on deck. Woodruff home. And that bounces up there. I mentioned Jeff Nelson is behind the plate tonight. Last year he took 2 foul balls off the mask in Game 3 of the ALCS. He had to leave due to a concussion that ended his season. So this is his first, quote, real game since that night. So good to see him back. Another foul by Bryant.
Yeah, you know you're going to get challenged by Woodruff. He'll throw that fastball about 65% of the time, especially against right-handed hitters. He's got a power slider, a changeup, and a curveball that he rarely uses. And he really chewed up right-handed hitters last year. They hit just .218 against him, so may fall to the left-handed hitters to do the damage here tonight.
Pitch number 6 on its way.
99. Luftballons.
Brewers won the season series 10-9 last season. The last 2 years in this matchup, it has been fairly low scoring. The pitching has generally won out. They will match up 10 times here in 2020. 7 of those games will be here at Wrigley.
Boy, good work here by KB. Not making it easy on Woodruff. You know, this has been a talking point since spring training. Chris Bryant as the leadoff man. He's not the prototypical leadoff guy because he's a slugger, but he brings so many attributes to this top spot in the batting order. The patience, the power.
The new dad, Chris Bryant, waits on a 2-2. It's inside.
Not to mention the fear factor. We talked about that, you know, a few times that Anthony has battled in the leadoff spot. It's a different dynamic for a pitcher to start the game facing a guy like Bryant as opposed to a little punch and Judy guy who, you know, is not likely to take you out of the ballpark.
That sets up a payoff. You can hear his teammates cheering him on in the third base dugout. That's something you normally would not hear on a big league broadcast.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's been a talking point with every manager in the game. Like, hey, it's on you guys in the dugout. Keep the energy up. Be the fans.
Another 3-2 is hit in the air. Kane out there, one of the best in the business, and he's got it.
Brewers defensively is brought to you by Jim B. Omar Narvaez. He's new to the Brewers. He does the catching here tonight. Infield shapes up like this. Shogard, Arcia, Hira, another newcomer, Justin Smoke at first base. Yelich gets left, Kane in center. They each have a gold glove on the mantle. Kane won his last year, and Garcia, the former White Sox, will play right.
Well, the one thing they didn't do is turn the music down. Man, oh man, sounds like your house.
It's bumping, yeah.
They've got that subwoofer working. Now, Anthony Rizzo, both he and Chris Bryant dealt with minor back issues during summer camp, but both able to go tonight. And the first pitch is low. And by the way, congrats to David Ross, his first major league game as a manager, and he had to wait a long time. We were expecting it to be on March 26th. Instead, it's July 24th. But no less exciting for Rossi. 2-0 on Rizzo.
Woodruff trying to run that two-seam fastball to the outside corner. Unable to command it, kind of flying open a little bit with that front shoulder. Rizzo tries to take a big bite here on 2-0.
Brewers shift against him on the infield to the pull side, or the opposite way in the outfield, which is not unusual.
And, Avi Garcia pretty much on the warning track out there and right.
Woodruff ready, and he walked him.
Time now for our keys to the game, brought to you by your local Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. Visit buyhyundai.com today. Well, change is in the air. And speaking of the Hendricks changeup, one of the best in the business. Mentioned earlier how tough Woodruff is against right-handed hitters, so the burden falls in all likelihood to the lefties, and you got to bring him down. That fastball up in the zone, it's tough to do anything with that pitch. Got to get it down below the belt.
Javier Baez with a man at first. That is the Cubs' 3,003rd walk over the last 5+ seasons, leading the major leagues. So that goes back to the start of the Joe Madden era.
Yeah, and you know, pretty much what I said about Bryant applies to Rizzo too, with that the danger and the patience at the plate. So you got two guys with great on-base skills setting things up, and Baez should be able to take advantage.
Javi led the NL 2 years ago with 111 knocked in. That should be 2, and it is a 4-6-3. Hira, Arcia, and Smoke. 1 inning in the books. The season is underway. We're scoreless.
With confidence comes the unbelievable.
In the air, in left center. Can't. Oh, he got it! Ball game over!
Our strength allows us to reach the unthinkable.
There's a high drive, deep right center, way back, right beyond here. He did it again! Holy cow!
And through it all, even as we have the ability to push ourselves to the limit,
Here comes the hook. Got him! 20 strikeouts! Unbelievable!
it will always be muscle
That's a fly ball, beat the left, back!
and mind
He did it! Got number 500!
and heart.
Everybody on your feet! This is it!
That is the future of our pastime. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, proud server of the most advanced machine on earth.
Get your glow back. Start running again with a boost of B vitamins and energy from green tea. New Dunkin' Refreshers. Enjoy a medium today for $2 and order contactless on the Dunkin' app. America runs on Dunkin'.
UI Health takes pride in serving Chicago. We're in your neighborhoods, providing care closer to home because we're committed to keeping our communities healthy. And that commitment starts with a healthier you. It's more than a prescription or procedure. It's a healthcare team taking the time to listen. As partners in your health, understanding your needs is the first step in providing the personalized care you deserve. UI Health, changing medicine for good.
On the next Cubs 162, a unique look through this lens at Wrigley.
There's the place, there's the players, and there's the game. And the place, to me, it's here forever.
Cubs 162 on MARQ Sports Network.
We are back. We are scoreless as we head to the top half of the second inning. The Cubs and Advocate Healthcare send our thanks and gratitude to all the healthcare heroes in the Chicagoland area who continue their tireless efforts to keep us safe and healthy today and every day.
Switch hitting first baseman Justin Smoke looks at a Kyle Hendricks strike. Signed as a free agent in December. Backed him away. 87 on the Heat from Hendricks.
Half of their roster is new. 15 of the 30 were not with the Brewers last year.
Scrap by CB Buckner on the carom. See, the Brewers have new uniforms, and there's Craig Counsell. Mentioned the Brewers won the season series last year. They've been really tough on the Cubs the last couple of years. Counsell in his 5th full season managing their team, and Hendricks picks up his 2nd straight strikeout. So here you go, the first at bat by a designated hitter in Wrigley Field history. How about that? And it's Ryan Braun.
May be grateful that there's nobody here because he usually gets roundly booed at Wrigley Field.
Or it could go the other way. He might be out of sorts because he is not
He's waiting to hear it.
Being heckled.
And the worst thing for him is he hears it up in his own ballpark too, because there's usually so many Cub fans there.
Awkward cut that time.
Well, that was an afterthought.
Yeah, so the Brewers, this is their 50th anniversary season. You see the patch on the right sleeve. And going back to the full-time MB ball and glove logo, which is iconic. Braun battled some aches and pains during summer camp, but able to go tonight.
Yeah, it's always a challenge for Craig Counsell to get Braun through a season now. 60-game season, obviously a different animal than a 162-game season, and with the DH available, that certainly provide more opportunities to keep Braun on the field.
Out toward right, where Jason Hayward will make the catch. It's out number 2. Let's check in with Taylor McGregor.
You guys could hear the boos coming towards Ryan Braun, and what's funny about that is he was asked this week, do you expect it to be weird going into Wrigley where you know they won't boo you? He said, listen, I know there's still going to be fans on the rooftops, and I fully expect them to boo me. So he wasn't wrong about that one. He knew it was coming.
Yeah, the people outside the ballpark letting him hear about it. Now Avisail Garcia. Former Tiger, White Sox, and Ray. And he looks at a pitch low.
Ray last year had a nice year, 282 average, 20 home runs, and a 2-year, $20 million deal from the Brewers.
An all-star in 17 with the Sox. No base runners to this point for the Brewers. 2 strikeouts for Hendricks. Good look at the Cubs' defensive alignment against Garcia. Good elevated 88.
Yeah, that's Hendricks is, he is so smart. The pitchability is off the charts, and he hasn't reinvented himself, but he has certainly tweaked some things, and that's part of it. That elevated fastball, that was not part of his game when he first came to the big leagues.
Into his motion, and the 1-2 is a curveball outside.
And that's the other part of it. The curveball was initially just kind of a get over, show me pitch, but he's been working hard, changing the shape of that, getting better spin on it, and it's evolving into an out pitch for him. Both strikeouts so far tonight have come on the breaking ball.
Swing and a miss. Got him on the changeup. 3 strikeouts for Hendricks. We will chat live with his manager. From the Cubs dugout, David Ross, when we come back. Scoreless in the second.
After 225 years of Jim Beam, you'd think we'd just look back on our past. Nope. We're looking to our future, where we're crafting new bourbons, creating new ways to drink them, and teaching a new generation of distillers. So no, we're not raising a glass to the last 225 years. We're raising Jim Beam for 225 years to come.
93 warmer days, promising new adventure, and views that never get old. Your favorite season starts now. Summer on. Receive a credit of up to $3,000 on select models now through July 31st.
Here's the snap, drops, fakes, throws, right on the net. Oh, he drops it. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Oh, the stuff that nightmares are made of. Wow.
Take me high, take me low, anywhere we wanna go.
With Domino's $5.99 mix and match deal, you can feed a family of 4 for about $3 per person. And since we've all been spending so much time with our families at home, we asked one of ours to make this commercial from home. And enjoy safely feeding a family of 4 for about $3 per person when you get specialty chicken, stuffed cheesy bread, medium 2-topping pizzas, or any 2 or more mix and match items for just $5.99 each.
55th manager in the history of the Cubs. David Ross is with us. We'll make it short and sweet. I've got all year to talk baseball with you, Rossi. Wearing the mask and the social distancing, are you used to that whole vibe at this point?
Yeah, I think you get used to it. It's still at times, I mean, it's hot today, and you want to just take it off for a breather every once in a while, so you try to spread out a little bit, and you want to cheer the guys on, make sure they hear you. But yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's part of it. There's a lot of adjustments. I'm not going to focus on this one little nuance of things we got to adjust with.
So first game as a major league manager, not what you envisioned when you took the job, but the adrenaline, the nervous energy, how are you feeling today?
Yeah, I think I was more nervous talking to the boys than I am just coming out here and letting them play and watching this and getting ready. You can only prep so much, and I feel like these guys have put in a lot of hard work, and I just try to be ready on my side and on my end, and I've got great coaches around me, so I get glad we're starting, glad this thing's tired of scrimmaging each other in exhibition games. We're excited, and the boys ready to go.
Thanks for joining us, Rossi. Congrats.
Good. Thanks.
That's David Ross from the Cubs dugout. 1-1 on Kyle Schwarber. And that's low. And I think, aside from the obvious, just get in game shape, the biggest thing about summer camp was getting used to everything that's different. And you'd like to think the guys feel like they understand the new routine at this point. But still a work in progress for some, I'm sure.
Yeah, and I think the nature of the competition, I'm not worried in the least about intensity or players focusing or being engaged. I mean, these guys are professionals. It's a big league game with a lot on the line. So I think there was a lot of speculation when it was determined that we would play without fans, that the players wouldn't be able to respond. But I don't think it's going to be an issue.
2-2, and we'll do it again.
I think you could make an argument that players will be better because they will just focus on the task at hand and won't get caught up in big moments with a big crowd making a lot of noise.
Woodruff kicks and fires a chopper toward the bag at second, and the throw's going to be late. That'll be an infield hit for Schwarber. That was Sogard, the third baseman, in the shift.
Well, 38 home runs last year, but a little different game plan this time. He's right off the end of the bat, just a little slow roller in the middle of the diamond. Schwarber runs better than most think. Colin Faulkner with a good try, or no, Eric Sogard with a good try, but
looked like our buddy Colin, yeah.
Schwarber beats the rap, batting 1,000.
Second base runner for the Cubs. Last one was eliminated due to a double play ball. Now Wilson Contreras. So I mentioned this is a big day for him. Not only is it opening day, he's in the lineup once again, but his younger brother William made the Braves opening day roster and got into their game today in New York against the Mets. Tyler Flowers and Travis d'Arnaud are showing symptoms of the coronavirus. So young William was activated today.
Yeah, it's interesting. They both tested negative, but because they are showing symptoms, they shut them down.
One top foul toward third.
Well, let's see if Contreras can stay on this run he's been on throughout summer camp, the inter-squad games, and then the exhibition games. He was really locked in.
And if you didn't see it, the Mets won that game 1-0. Yoenis Cespedes had the game-winning home run, I think in the 7th.
Welcome back, Cespedes. He's been out for a couple of years.
Woodruff is from Mississippi. He participated in the 2010 Under Armour All-American game here at Wrigley. Played 3 sports in high school: baseball, hoops, and football.
Get out of there.
Almost hit him.
'97 with run. Oof.
Schwarber the runner at first.
Try to double up in there.
And Contreras bounces foul to stay alive. Woodruff homered in a playoff game a couple years ago as a reliever. And you heard Elise just before the first pitch tell us about Woodruff's scouting report as a hitter against Kyle Hendricks, but that's not in the cards tonight with the DH now in the National League. Called strike 3. Wilson did not argue. And speaking of Elise, here she is again.
Highland, yeah, so I positioned myself right behind Christian Yelich because he's moved to left field after being in right the first 2 seasons with the Brewers. Now Avi Garcia's out there. So Yelich said he's comfortable in left because obviously he's played there before. He won a Gold Glove there, but he has to reacclimate himself. So he's getting used to the vision, the sight lines, the ball off the bat. What I'm noticing from this angle, you don't have fans in the stands. So maybe, JD, you can help me out if it would be easier or harder to track the ball in that sense, but he also said just what he's seeing from this angle now, like I said, tracking that ball.
Why don't you just ask him, Louise? Just yell out at him.
I probably could.
You know better than I. I'd say it's a little easier. Don't do that again.
That will be the end of the inning. That was quick. 2 double plays turned by the Brewers. 0-0 after 2.
Could you be a target for identity theft or cybercrime?
You put locks on your doors and windows, an alarm system on your home, but protecting yourself from cyber threats isn't that straightforward.
In the last year, there were 3 victims of cybercrime every second. As technology evolves, so do the criminals. That's why you need more protection than ever to help safeguard your personal information. Now, Norton 360 with LifeLock provides an all-in-one membership for your cyber safety that includes identity theft protection, device security, a VPN for online privacy, and more. And if you have an identity theft problem, we'll work to fix it with our $1 million protection package.
With all the things that can happen, you need all-in-one protection. That's why I trust Norton 360 with LifeLock.
Norton 360 with LifeLock. Use promo code JOIN25 to save 25% off your first year and get a free shredder with annual membership. Call now, start your membership, or visit lifelock.com/join25.
We've always had villains to face.
Bad guys to take down. But you
are the most horrible of all.
We're not here because we have to be.
We're here because we've had enough of you.
Every single one of us is mortal.
But inside of us, we're all heroes.
So stand up with us. Stand up to fight.
Stand up to cancer. Visit standuptocancer.org to learn more.
And we will welcome you to the Budweiser broadcast booth, brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. And you.
And you.
What do you got there? Some Cracker Jacks?
Got to do it, man. Got some Cracker Jacks.
I love it.
We're at the ballpark. Can't grill a hot dog in here. It's probably against code.
We missed you. We hope you missed us. We're back. Omar Narvaez takes a strike.
Yeah, we are not working tomorrow. Fox has the game. So I will be grilling a hot dog and drinking a beverage, watching Hardball tomorrow.
And then we will be back on MARQ Sports Network Sunday afternoon. Six up, 6 down for Hendricks to start this game.
He has Manny Grandal gone. He's on the south side now. Narvaez over from the Mariners, signing a free agent deal.
On the inside corner.
The professor is dealing. Strikeout number 4. Couple with a curveball, one chase on a changeup. Now he paints the inside corner with his come on back, a la Greg Maddux 2-seam fastball.
Lorenzo Cain, 34th career start in the 8th spot. Mostly leadoff and third in his career, but he's hit everywhere. Reds have a 4-1 lead in the 5th at home against Detroit. Joey Votto just connected. Won his first Gold Glove last year. 2-1.
Probably deserved a couple of more along the way. They love the way he approaches the game. By they, I mean Craig Counsell and the coaching staff. Just an everyday, get after it guy, low maintenance, just play hard.
Is maintenance his middle name?
Low maintenance, absolutely. Why not?
Righty to righty on a 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 5 out of 8 strikeouts. And the stat brought to you by DraftKings.
Now this is opponent batting average by pitch last year. And the 264 batting average against his changeup a little higher than you might expect for his career. I think it's below 200. Sometimes it's very difficult to parse numbers like this because it's how everything works together that really tells the whole story. So you see the circle change grip and perfectly executed.
The 0-1 on Arcia, and the free swinger has the first hit for the Brewers, and a big turnaround first. He'll hold with a 2-out single. This is where the social distancing part gets a little funky.
Look at Riz.
Give him some hand sanitizer. I love it.
And now pick him off.
Back to the top end, Sogard. It's the kind of hand sanitizer that makes a base runner slower. It's a big ruse. Kick and the 1-0, a high fly to right. Hayward. It's not the only sun field at this point in the early evening hours. The Brewers on the hit board, but they still have not scored. Neither have the Cubs. It's 0-0.
Introducing First Midwest Bank's newest branch, your home. With our online banking and mobile app, it's easier than ever to make a deposit from the dining room, pay bills from the patio, or get alerts in the loft. The convenience of First Midwest Bank, right from your own home. Get started today. First Midwest Bank, momentum for life.
Summer is here. Bring on the epic savings at the Hyundai Epic Summer Sales Event. Right now, find great deals on every SUV and sedan, including more 2020 IIHS Top Safety Awards than Honda or Toyota. Plus, get complimentary maintenance for 3 years and America's best warranty. Hurry in and save at the Hyundai Epic Summer Sales Event.
Get 0% APR for 60 months on the 2020 Sonata or Elantra, now with complimentary maintenance. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
Teddy loves tug-of-war. In his lifetime, he'll pull hundreds of tons. That's why he needs a tailored recipe from IAMS to help him stay fit. IAMS who I am.
I got your back, you got mine. Think about you all the time. Together we can come through. That's what love's made of. When it's made with love, it's made to be shared.
Get your glow back. Start running again with a boost of B vitamins and energy from green tea. New Dunkin' Refreshers. Enjoy a medium today for $2 and order contactless on the Dunkin' app. America runs on Dunkin'.
Scoreless here, bottom of the third. Well, there's two guys who feel pretty confident that they won't see action tonight, so they're kicking back in the stands watching the ball game. Welcome to Baseball 2020. Folks, You may now purchase 50/50 raffle tickets online from anywhere in Illinois. For Cub home games this season, fans can purchase raffle tickets starting at 11 a.m. until the end of the game. Proceeds will benefit Cubs charities. Purchase your ticket now at Cubs.com/raffle. That harkens back to the minor league days. Starting pitchers would sometimes sit up in the stands and keep a chart.
Definitely gives you a unique perspective on the game. A strike on Victor Caratini, so he is the Cubs' first DH under this new rule, and should get the start tomorrow behind the plate with Yu Darvish on the mound. Not hit very hard. Sogard's had a busy start to this game, and he makes the play from third.
That was a changeup from Woodruff, and for a power pitcher, he does get a fair number of outs on the ground. He's got 2 ground ball double plays already tonight.
Young Nico Horner, 23 years old, 20 games in September last year. And the only reason he got to the big leagues is because of a couple of injuries at shortstop, and he made the best of it, and he's the Cubs opening day second baseman this year.
Pretty good pass at that 97-mile-an-hour heater. Nico's an aggressive hitter. He has really good contact skills. Profiles as a guy that won't strike out much, probably won't take a lot of walks, but should hit for a high average.
Rolled up the middle and into center. Feels like that will become a signature Nico Horner hit, although if he does it too much, teams are going to play somebody right where he hits it. Found a hole that time.
Take a look at it in super slow-mo, and it's brought to you by Mattress Firm. The ball actually got in on him off the fat part of the bat, but still able to nudge it firmly enough to get it through the middle of the diamond.
Ian Happ batting ninth and playing center. Warner with a decent lead. Cubs are not expected to run a whole lot this year. Ian Miller did not make the 30-man opening day roster. Cubs added a few guys to the South Bend core, including Derek Dietrich, who was recently given his release by the Cincinnati Reds. He's an intriguing guy.
And he had a big first half for Cincinnati last year.
Among other roster news, Josh Fegley is the third catcher. Daniel Descalzo injured his ankle the other night. He's been placed on the 45-day DL. IL. 2 balls, no strikes.
Good take there by Ian. That's kind of a little bit of a trouble zone for him, that elevated fastball.
Woodruff set at the belt, and his 2-0 is too low.
He's had some deep counts. The double play balls have bailed him out a little bit in terms of the pitch count.
That is a strike according to Jeff Nelson. 3-1. Long pause in the stretch. And Happ into center. Kane is watching, and it's gone. A 2-run homer. Ian Happ, and the Cubs have the lead.
obviously a better result. Picked on that 3-1 heater. Talked about the book on Woodruff that you have to force him to get that fastball down a little bit. He took that elevated heater, got himself into a hitter's count, and was primed to go when he got a fastball to his liking. This one's a little more get-toable, if you will. Thigh high, bye-bye.
So the Cubs strike first.
You had Ian Happ in, who hits the first home run of the year pool. You're a winner.
Well, he did it 2 years ago, right? First pitch of the year. As the leadoff man, and he does it here in 2020 as the number 9 hitter.
9 hole's pretty sweet spot right now with Brian and Rizzo hitting 1-2. This is where he finished off last year. He was red hot when he came back from Iowa. Was the player of the week the final week of the season.
It's an obvious statement to make, but I'll make it anyway. I'm good at that.
Hey, peanuts.
Without a DH, I mean, these lineups are a lot more potent. You take an automatic out of your lineup.
Well, semi-automatic.
Pretty automatic. Pitchers batted a collective 128.
Yeah.
Last year. That
well, with an on-base percentage of probably 150.
I mean, if you
I'll be picking on the pitchers now.
I'm not picking on them.
They only get to bat once every 5 days. If a regular did that, he probably would hit 264 or something like that.
2-2. How about that? He made his homers count. He's the reigning player of the week.
Yeah. Maybe he can win it this week, too.
Bryant is a popular guy in that Cubs dugout. He has seen a ton of pitches here in his first 2 at-bats. Foul. This Milwaukee club, you don't want to be trailing them going into the late innings. They've got a really good bullpen. Fair ball picked by Sogard.
Ian Happ, he's your man on opening day. You mentioned it, Len. First pitch of the season, March 2018. And it came out that spring training where he hit like 8 or 9 home runs, and 4 or 5 of them came on first pitch fastball. So that was kind of his MO going into that one. Urania challenged him, and he was up to the challenge. That's a dangerous bat lurking at the bottom of the batting order here.
Yeah, he's in the Digny seat right now, right?
So all the fans can go, hey, way to go, man.
Called strike on Rizzo. His 8th consecutive opening day start. His foundation delivered 120 meals to 3 different hospitals today in honor of opening day. That is a strike. Chris Bryant, JD, is 0 for 2 he has seen 18 pitches, so it's already been a productive night, even though he doesn't have a hit.
And he scalded that ball just now. I mean, that was a great at bat. Sometimes you just hit into some tough luck. The fastball command for Woodruff is not particularly sharp here tonight. The stuff obviously is. We've seen him at 99 miles per hour. Maybe a little amped up, overthrowing at times.
Greg Counsell said he was my opening day starter for this year back in October. He already knew it would be Woodruff. That is not a good spot to get hit. Anthony gets hit a lot. And you always worry about the hand and the wrist. I think you said it a couple of years ago. It feels like he's made out of steel.
Yeah. Every time that happens, I'd be on my knees weeping in pain, and it's just so tough. And thank goodness, right? I mean, obviously the bones.
He has led the majors
strong.
in hit by pitches 3 times, including last year. 146 career hit by pitches. Looked like it got kind of half hand, half knob. So kind of a glancing blow.
Yeah, and I've always argued that he should wear one of those hand pads that guys wear, but he's just not comfortable doing it.
Javi with 2 down. Right in there for a strike. Well, the bad news is he hit into a double play in the first. The good news is he can't hit into another one in this at bat. Low.
With 2 outs and a man on first base, double scores a run here in all likelihood. Kane, I mean, he's a really good center fielder. Most center fielders like to play shallow, but for Greg Counsell, I might have him a little bit deeper with Javi up there and a man on first.
Couple of bounces to Arcia, and they'll get the force play at second. Our colleague Ryan Dempster will join us for the middle 3 when we come back. Cubs lead 2-0 on the half homer.
Hi, we're glad you came in. What's on your mind? Can you help keep these guys protected online? Easy. Connect to the X-Fi gateway.
And what about wireless data options for the family?
You can customize and save.
What about internet speeds that keep up with my gaming?
Let's hook you up with the fastest internet from Xfinity. And now with our stores reopening, we're putting healthy practices in place. Come visit a store today. Stop in or book an appointment online at a time that works for you. Now that's simple, easy, awesome. Ask, shop, discover at your local Xfinity store today.
When you run a business in Chicago, you have to be ready to put in the hours, put in the work, brave the elements. Running a business here comes with ups and downs. The downs make you tougher. The ups keep you pushing. At Wintrust, we know what that's like because we started here too. One small location and have found a way forward. No one knows how to support a Chicago business like another. From us to you, keep going. We've got your back.
With Domino's $5.99 mix and match deal, you can feed a family of 4 for about $3 per person. So we asked one of our families to help us make this commercial about that deal. Safely feed a family of 4 for about $3 per person with the $5.99 mix and match deal.
You know Miller Lite only has 1 more calorie, right?
And more taste. Good choice.
delivery just got more rewarding. Now the Grubhub gives you rewards when you order. Did you order tacos? Again? Boom, rewarded with a perk like $5 off. Ordering dinner for the family? Voila, rewarded with free delivery and a side of quiet. Grubhub gives you rewards for rewarding yourself with food.
Kyle Hendricks has been spot on here tonight. All of his weapons working. We talked about that curveball earlier. That's a go-to pitch for him now, not just a show-me pitch. So 2 on the curveball. Great changeup for number 3. Paints the fastball for number 4. Back to the changeup to record his 5th strikeout already.
Yelich, Hira, and Smoke for the Brewers in the 4th inning. And Ryan Dempster, 2-time All-Star, including 2008 with the Chicago Cubs, is right next door. Hi, Demp.
Hi, guys. JD, Len, thanks for having me up here.
Great to have you with us.
Man.
The host of Off the Mound, and we'll have more on that a little later. You talk to a lot of current and former big league players. It's been a strange summer, as we all know, but just the idea of being home and not being at the ballpark for these first 3-4 months, I mean, it's just so great to be back out here, isn't it?
You know, we condition our bodies over repetitive use and timeline of being used to be playing baseball and having baseball, and for guys to not have that, it's been definitely very strange. But super glad that we're back. It's awesome that we're back. It's awesome that these guys are, you know, they're putting it on the line to go out there and give the fans what they love, and that's the great game of baseball. It's weird, it's eerie, quiet, but I like it. It's big league baseball, and it's fun to watch these guys hone and perfect their craft.
In many ways, it's baseball in its purest form, right? There's none of the trappings and with the fans and everything. Just go play ball, boys.
Yeah, he can, you know, the crack of the bat, that homer that Happ hit. I was walking up here, I'm like, oh, that ball's gone. I could tell just by the sound of it. It's pretty cool.
Full count on Yelich. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Hendricks locked in tonight.
This time he had to work from behind in the count, was ultimately able to come back and get Yelich this elevated changeup, like a styrofoam cup floating up there.
That's the Dempster special.
The high changeup. You know, people laughed when I said that, but you don't want to hang it, but a high changeup works just fine.
Well, we have found over the years, here's Hira. For so long it was don't do this, don't do that. Well, the don't do's are the ones that you can do on purpose every once in a while. And you know, the one pitch Chris Bryant generally can't hit is that Smith-Mixer slider that doesn't break. If that slider breaks into the zone, he hits it out onto Waveland. But if it backs up a little bit and ends up out of the zone and you miss your spot by a foot, you might get him to swing and miss. Now, it's hard to throw that pitch on purpose, right?
Yeah, very much so, absolutely. Yeah, JD and I spent a lot of our career hanging that slider.
Yeah.
Trying to perfect the backup one that we never quite could.
Well, Dan, you and JD and I talk all the time about a pitcher says I only made, you know, 1 mistake or 2 mistakes. Guys make mistakes all the time that they get away with, and sometimes they make good pitches that get hit a long way.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, you could throw a pitch right on the black, on the knees, down and away, and a guy flips it to right field, and the pitching coach says, "I thought you might have went with a slider there." You throw right down the middle, he pops it up in the infield, and they say, "Great pitch." Like that, right there.
Wow. Mowing them down. That's 7.
You could just see the body language here looking out like these guys are completely mystified right now. Watch here after the swing and miss. We'll see if we can see that kind of looks out at Hendricks as if to say, come on, man. It just isn't fair what you're doing to us here tonight.
You know, watching this changeup that he's thrown, it's like it literally has a parachute on it. It's stopping right before it gets to the dirt.
Justin Smoke looks at a strike. 7 Ks already for Kyle Hendricks. He's in a good rhythm too. Curveball.
This is fun to watch, man.
We get so in love with velocity, don't we? And at the end of the day, it just comes down to executing pitches, and Kyle's doing an unbelievable job of that.
He's got smoke in swing mode. Cubs have out-hit Milwaukee 3-1. The big hit was the Happ 2-run home run. Oh my goodness. Got anything brilliant to say, Deb, after that inning?
Kids at home, if you're watching, keep taking notes, because that's pitching 101 right there.
Kyle Hendricks strikes out the side. 2-0 in the fourth.
Could you be a target for identity theft or cybercrime?
You put locks on your doors and windows, an alarm system on your home, but protecting yourself from cyber threats isn't that straightforward.
In the last year, there were 3 victims of cybercrime every second. As technology evolves, so do the criminals. That's why you need more protection than ever to help safeguard your personal information. Now, Norton 360 with LifeLock provides an all-in-one membership for your cyber safety that includes identity theft protection, device security, a VPN for online privacy, and more. And if you have an identity theft problem, we'll work to fix it with our $1 million protection package.
With all the things that can happen, you need all-in-one protection. That's why I trust Norton 360 with LifeLock.
Norton 360 with LifeLock. Use promo code JOIN25 to save 25% off your first year and get a free shredder with annual membership. Call now, start your membership, or visit lifelock.com/join25.
As a caricature artist, I appreciate what makes each person unique. That's why I like Liberty Mutual. They get that no two people are alike. And customize your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. Almost done? What do you think?
I don't see it. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
These guys have stayed ready. They've stayed in shape. They look great.
Rizzo hit by pitch, Cubs record 9-2-19.
Welcome back to Wrigley Field and to the Budweiser broadcast booth, brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. That's Jim DeShays. I'm Len Casper. Ryan Dempster is with us for the middle three. Pre and post today. Does a little bit of everything and did a little bit of everything as a Chicago Cub, a closer and starter. You did both. I'm guessing the starting thing a little more in your blood, as Kyle Schwarber will round out to Woodruff. As much as you like getting that 27th out, starting is different, right?
Yeah, I can give up a 3-run home run in the first and still win the game. I do that closing. I better find a new place to live. Yeah, you know, I enjoyed the adrenaline rush. I learned a lot from closing. I really did. I had fun doing it, but at the end of the day, I was a starting pitcher my whole high school life, my minor league life, and in the big leagues. So to have that, those 4 days off, I'm sure I annoyed a lot of teammates because I couldn't sit still, but I definitely enjoyed the starting pitching a lot more.
We had a shot earlier of John Lester and Tyler Chatwood sitting behind the dugout in like the 8th or 9th row. If you were still active, would you just kind of roam around the ballpark? On those days you didn't pitch?
I'd probably take an inning in from the scoreboard, at least an inning, if not half of a game. Yeah, I think why not get a different angle from everywhere you can.
Did you do the minor league charting thing?
Yeah.
Remember that? You'd sit up in the stands and hang out with the scouts?
Yeah.
That was fun.
That was a really good time. You got to see it from a different perspective. Yeah. I do remember one time we had a 3-game series in Las Vegas, and I had to chart the night after a start. That was an ugly looking chart.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? The stuff, you're giving it to the manager after the game, and like he's going to rely on that information, and sometimes you weren't really locked in.
Well, really? That was a curveball there? I swore it was a heater.
Why is there a mustard stain on the chart? What was going on up there?
It makes me wonder, and I know people did rely on that information, but it does make me wonder if pitching coaches and managers just grabbed the sheet of paper and threw it in the wastebasket. It was just something to keep you guys occupied.
That's exactly what that was. I remember Brad Arnsberg. Arnie was our pitching coach, and he'd chart as well, and then he'd give me the chart to do. Be like, why am I charting? You're keeping the chart. And I think now, looking back, you hit the nail on the head right there. It was just so I wouldn't get myself in trouble during the game.
2-2 on the two-time All-Star Wilson Contreras. The big summer camp. A couple of homers the other night against Minnesota.
It's funny with this 60-game schedule, you have to kind of recalibrate what a good season is. I almost said, he could easily hit 30 this year, but he can't.
Well, he could, but it would be a miracle. He strikes out this time. And 2 down. And it'll bring up Hayward.
Well, Woodruff has had Wilson's number here tonight. He's punched him out both times, once looking, this time swinging. The only 2 strikeouts that Woodruff has recorded. We're gonna bunt here. We're peeking.
He is peeking. Yeah, thought about it. Why are hitters different on 3-2 than they are 0-2? It's a 2-strike count. I think it was Darwin Barney. He almost was better when it was 1-2 than 3-2. Felt like there was more on the line, maybe 3-2 for a hitter.
3-2 anxiety?
I don't know. Did you guys ever notice that in a hitter?
Well, and we would have, you'd have meetings and you go over a lineup and you talk about no panic guys. And those were guys in a 3-2 count that you didn't have to panic because you knew that they were going to swing. A guy like, I remember Mikey Lowell. Mikey Lowell swung at 3-2 everything. If you look at his base on balls in his career on 3-2 counts, there weren't very many of them.
Sean Barry comes to mind too. But Sean Barry was a guy, if you watched him play and you didn't really pay complete attention, you would say he's very disciplined, he's very patient, he'll take his walks because he would work deep counts, but when it came crunch time, 3-2, he was hacking.
Now they know that information in about 5 seconds. All the numbers fouled back by Hayward.
It is incredible the amount of data that's out there and analytics now. I was rather enjoying the weather app. They need to have the app for whether or not the guy's paying attention. That's a good app to have.
The whether or not app.
The whether or not app.
WAHETHER.com. They are making it tough on Mr. Woodruff. A lot of foul balls to stay in counts so far. And that's why he's at 66 pitches. Ian Happ got him for a 2-run homer in the 3rd. Just outside on 98.
Narvaez trying to pull that one back, but clearly off the plate. That's going to be one of the interesting things to watch with this Brewers club. Yasmani Grandal, last year's primary catcher for the Brewers, has moved on, and he gets high marks for his receiving skills. Narvaez, not so much.
He got him looking for his 3rd punch out, and the Cubs go in order for the first time tonight. The professor back to work. He's already fanned 8 through 4.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for letting us help you.
Thank you for trusting us.
Thank you for being patient.
For standing 6 feet apart.
For sending lunch.
And thank you for saying thank you. Thank you to my family for understanding
That I am doing something important for our whole community.
Thank you to my team.
Thank you for staying strong.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
My dad was killed in a crash in Oak Forest. He wasn't doing anything wrong. He was on his way home from my sister's house when he was killed on his motorcycle because someone just wasn't paying attention. If it wasn't for an irresponsible driver, my dad would still be here today. I want everyone to realize that's not just a motorcycle, that's someone's everything. Please, drive and ride responsibly. It really is a matter of life and death.
Listen to the Off the Mound podcast presented by Sloan with me, Ryan Dempster. Every Monday, you'll hear exciting conversations with former players and other personalities.
Where do you feel like I got a chance of winning every single time I play when I play a board?
Honestly, I do pretty good at most of them. You know, I'm the only one in its family who doesn't have a college degree, but I somehow outsmart them in everything. I'm a college dropout, Demp.
Subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify today.
Sport has the power to unite. It has the power to build communities. It has the power to break down barriers and allow people to feel as though they're on equal footing with one another. We at Cubs Charities have the ability to do some critical work right now, utilizing the power that sports has in building community, in inspiring hope, and uniting a city.